Imagine that moment when the door swings open without a knock. And there he stands, your new boss. All swagger and sharp suit. Eyes scanning your desk like it's already his territory. No hello. No handshake. Just a clipped command. You're still clinging to those outdated protocols? We'll get them by end of quarter. His voice cuts through the hum of the office like a knife through fog, dismissing 11 years of your life in one breath. You set your coffee down slowly, feeling the heat seep through the mug into your palm, grounding you. You don't snap back. Not yet. Because deep down, in that quiet core where betrayal festers, you know the truth. This isn't just a job. It's your creation, woven into the veins of Apex Freight's global empire. Every shipment from Seattle to Shanghai pulses through the systems you built, the rules you etched in code and contract. And he, Ethan Blackwell, the golden boy parachuted in from some Ivy League consulting firm, thinks he can erase you with a memo. But silence has always been your sharpest weapon. You watch him saunter out, tossing a casual, schedule the handover with my assistant over his shoulder. And something inside you coils tighter. A spring compressed, waiting for the inevitable release. You'd poured your soul into Apex 11 years ago, when they acquired your small tech startup in the heart of Silicon Valley's frenzy. You weren't just another coder. You were the architect. The one who designed the routing enclaves, those invisible fortresses of algorithms and encrypted layers that kept freight moving seamlessly across borders, dodging tariffs, weather chaos, and supply chain snarls. It wasn't glamour, it was grit. Late nights debugging while your friends bragged about startup exits. Weekends poring over legal fine print to embed safeguards no one else bothered with. Your husband used to joke that you loved those systems more than him until the divorce papers proved he wasn't joking. But the work? It was your anchor in a world that chewed up loyalty and spat out burnout. And now, Ethan, with his buzzword-laden presentations and his entourage of eager young analysts, saw you as dead weight. Legacy, he called it in meetings. His voice dripping with that false empathy executives use when they're plotting your exit. You sat through those sessions, notepad in hand, jotting notes not on his slides, but on the tells, the way his eyes flicked away when someone asked about technical feasibility. The slight hesitation before he claimed full visibility. He didn't know the half of it. No one did. Except you and the buried clause in your original contract. The probe started subtly, like whispers in the dark. Your assistant, Mia, a sharp-eyed millennial who'd stuck with you through 3 restructurings, flagged it first over a hurried lunch in the company cafeteria. Boss, someone's sniffing around the enclave logs, she said. Fork paused midair, scraping license tags, digging into old APIs. It's not internal IT. You nodded, chewing slowly, the taste of your salad turning bitter. You didn't need to ask who. Ethan's optimization initiative was code for control grab. He'd already whiteboarded your name under phase-out priorities. You glimpsed it through the conference room glass one afternoon, his marker slashing like a verdict. The room buzzed with his energy, loud laughs. Backslaps for the yes-men, but you? You moved like a shadow, gathering your own arsenal. Copies of the contract, notarized and time-stamped. Audit trails of every system tweak. And there, in black and white, Section 7.4c, the trapdoor you'd negotiated back in 2015. When Apex swallowed your firm whole. It wasn't malice then, it was survival. Custodial authority over the core infrastructure, irrevocable without a 120-day transition or full buyout. They'd signed it, buried in the legalese. Because who reads the fine print when victory tastes so sweet? But now, as Ethan's audits ramped up, that clause hummed in your mind like a dormant virus, ready to activate. The confrontation came on a rainy Tuesday, the kind where Seattle's skies pressed down like judgment. He cornered you in the hallway post-meeting. Coffee breath too close. Voice low but laced with triumph. Your enclaves are silos. Emily. Obsolete. We're centralizing everything, real-time dashboards. No more black boxes. You met his gaze steadily. Rain pattering against the windows like a distant drumroll. You reviewed the custodial terms, you asked. Voice even. A question wrapped in warning. He waved it off with a chuckle. Legal's on it. Focus on the handover. But legal wasn't on it, not the way he thought. They'd skimmed. Assumed ownership trumped everything. That night, alone in your apartment overlooking the Puget Sound, you traced the clause with your finger on the printed copy. It wasn't just words, it was your insurance against exactly this, betrayal dressed as progress. The hurt twisted deeper. Not just professional, but personal. You'd given Apex your prime years. Sacrificed relationships. Health. For what? To be discarded like outdated software. Sleep evaded you. Replaced by a simmering rage that built slowly. Methodically. Like pressure in a fault line. Thursday dawned gray and unforgiving. You arrived early. Badge scanning with its familiar beep. But the air felt charged. By 10:15. Ethan summoned you to his office. No. Not summoned, ambushed. Door closed behind you. He didn't rise from his desk. Effective immediately. Your role is terminated. Hand over access credentials. We'll have contractors extract the stack. His words landed like punches. Flat and rehearsed. No eye contact. Just a HR scripted dismissal. The room spun slightly, the junior staff outside pretending not to notice. The analyst averting his eyes. 11 years. Reduced to this. You felt the betrayal sear through you. Hot and raw. But you didn't explode. Instead, you placed an envelope on his desk. Slim and unassuming. Those credentials aren't transferable, you said softly. Almost a whisper. Your badge followed. Clinking against the wood. Turning away. You caught the eye of the new intern. Wide with confusion. And offered a small, knowing smile. Walking out. The hallway stretched endlessly. Each step echoing the silence you'd cultivated. Behind you, chaos loomed. But you? You were already free. By afternoon, the cracks appeared. Ethan's team tried logging into the core matrix, denied. Backup protocols? Locked. The enclaves, those modular beasts you'd engineered, didn't yield to brute force. They required your custodial key, tied to offline tokens and rolling authentications. Without the 120-day transition initiated, everything defaulted to deadlock. You didn't sabotage, you simply withdrew. And withdrawal, in a system built on trust, was devastation. Legal scrambled, poring over the contract in a closed-door frenzy. It's binding, the general counsel admitted in a terse email chain that leaked to you via a sympathetic contact. Ethan's response? Denial. Then fury. But the clause was ironclad, $18.2 million buyout. Plus $90,000 daily penalties after day 7. You'd written it yourself during negotiations. A quiet fortress against corporate amnesia. Now, it bit back. Shipments stalled, Chicago to Tokyo routes glitched. Costing 6 figures in delays. Vendors balked. Demanding your signature on validations. No Emily Hayes? No priority lanes. One rail partner barked over the phone. The pain in your chest eased slightly. Replaced by a cold satisfaction. But it came at a cost, nights haunted by what-ifs. The isolation of victory tasting like ash. Day 2 unraveled faster. A major client in New York diverted $9.5 million in cargo to rivals after a customs sync failed spectacularly. Ethan's pacing became legend, hallways cleared when he approached. his bluster crumbling into desperation. You watched from afar, sipping tea in your home office, fielding discreet pings from industry allies. You okay? One messaged. You didn't reply. Silence was your armor now. The emotional toll mounted, memories of late-night builds, the pride in flawless executions, now twisted into weapons. Was this revenge? Or justice? The line blurred. But the hurt propelled you forward. Each stalled shipment an echo of your silenced voice. By day 4, the board stirred. Whispers of oversight failure circled. Ethan reached out personally, a text. Then an email. Let's discuss realignment. Pathetic. Pleading. Your lawyer shut it down, all via official channels. The quiet power thrilled you. But loneliness crept in. The price of isolation in a cutthroat world. On day 6, Apex wired $9.1 million to escrow, half the buyout. A band-aid on a hemorrhage. Publicly, they spun it as strategic investment, but the markets sniffed weakness. Stock dipped. Vendors fled. You didn't gloat, you pivoted. Horizon Logistics, a nimble competitor in Austin, courted you discreetly. We want your vision. Not just code, their CEO said over a video call. You signed that week, new title. Full autonomy. Fresh start. But scarred. At Apex, the fallout cascaded. Ethan demoted to advisory projects, a euphemism for exile. The CEO vanished from calls. Legal buried in damage control. Your name echoed in boardrooms. Unspoken but omnipresent. The system you'd built didn't fail them, their arrogance did. And in the end, as you coded anew under Texas skies, you realized the true cost, not the millions. But the trust shattered. The humanity eroded. Silence had won. But victory whispered warnings. Control is illusion. And betrayal's echo lingers long after the storm.